Hi, I'm Elizabeth Miles, and this is my midterm video essay in measuring concepts in social science. So in social science research, one of the most important things to understand is the difference between independent and dependent variables. An independent variable is something that influences or causes change, while a dependent variable is the outcome we're trying to explain. An easy way to remember that is that the dependent variable depends on the independent variable. For example, if I'm studying whether or not time spent on social media affects cyberbullying behavior, then social media use is the independent variable and cyberbullying is the dependent variable. I'm basically asking whether one has an effect on the other. In criminology, two important variables we can look at are social media exposure and cyberbullying behavior. Social media exposure matters because it shapes how often individuals interact online, which can increase opportunities for harmful or aggressive behavior. Cyberbullying is important because it's a growing form of deviance, especially among younger populations. It can have serious psychological and social consequences. Studying these variables help us better understand modern forms of crime and how technology influences behavior. To properly study these variables, we need to go through three key concepts: conceptualization, operationalization, and measurement. And each of these are different. First, conceptualization is where we define what we mean by each concept. So for social media exposure, I would define it as the amount of time an individual actively spends using social media platforms. And for cyberbullying behavior, I would define it as engaging in repeated harmful or aggressive actions towards others through digital platforms. This step is all about being clear and specific about what we mean. Next is operationalization, which is where we decide exactly how we're going to measure those concepts in the real world. For social media exposure, I might measure it as the number of hours per day spent on social media platforms like Instagram, TikTok, or Snapchat. And for cyberbullying, I could define it as self-reported engagement in behaviors like sending threatening text messages, spreading rumors online, or posting harmful content within the past 6 months. The way I define these variables matters because it affects the data that I collect. Finally, measurement is when we actually assign numbers or values to those variables. So for social media exposure, I could collect survey data where participants report their average daily usage in hours. And for cyberbullying, I could assign numerical values based on how often someone reports and engaging in specific behaviors, for example, like never, once, a few times, or frequently. These numbers allow researchers to analyze patterns and determine whether higher social media use is associated with increasing cyberbullying. So overall, understanding independent and dependent variables and clearly applying conceptualization, operationalization, and measurement allows researchers to take abstract ideas and turn them into real, measurable data, and that's what makes research in criminology useful for understanding and addressing modern forms of crime.